Good day, our classmates and teacher. We are now here to report you about the literature and society in Southeast Asia, particularly in Burma. So, in the Burmese language, Burma is known as the Myanmar P. So, Myanmar P is the written literal name of the country, while the Burma is the spoken name of the country. So, Burmese, like Javanese and other language of Southeast Asia, has a different levels of register. So, with sharp differences between literary and spoken language.
Prose writing and publishing in Burma. In 1914, a work of fiction by Yulat had reflected the concern of many Burmese at the threat to their culture and traditional way of life posed by Western ideas and habits. Dito sinasabi na si Yulat na isa sa mga author sa Burmese ay gumawa ng libro ukol sa impluensya ng mga Western country sa kanilang bansa. Hanggang 1930s, many novels express a strong awareness of injustice and humiliation at being under foreign rule and the growing desire of the Burmese for independency. Nakuha naman ng mga Burmese ang kanilang independence noong 1948 of January 4, ngunit noong 1950s, there was an increase in translation from all literature, Soviet, Chinese as well as English language. So kahit na nakuha na ng mga Burmese ang kanilang kalayaan, marami pa rin mga libro o mga teksto na nagta-translate ng mga salita from Burmese to Chinese and as well as English language and Western countries. And in 1962, National Literary Conference took place in World Peace Pagoda in Rangoon, attended by over 700 authors, journalists, and men of letters. It was led by the president of the Burma Writers Association, Yu Tien Tem Myint, who is also involved in politics. They chose him to avoid party and ideological differences.
The Burma Translation Society. The Burma gained its freedom 10 years ago. The duty of supplying reading materials in the Burmese for the Union citizen should be given high priority. The Prime Minister U Nu believed, notwithstanding the plethora of issues, that always be a set a new nation. So on October 26, 1947, the Burma Translation Society was established with U Nu serving as its first president. The public could read nearly nothing at the time, with the exception of general works, books, and Buddhism, politics, and religion. The meaning, the formation of the Burma Translation Society allowed for the dissemination of international literature, art, and education to the Burmese people. Professor and legal specialist. The organization's first home base was Judson College in the Gahon, and it later relocated to Sorrento Villa, where its name was changed to Sarpine Beckman, the Palace of Literature, in order to get its currently site on the Merchant Street. It was moved once more in 1955.
For Burma literary seminars, the revolutionary government before 1969 often sought to involve the population in general in political affairs by holding meetings. Through the Serpai Baikman, or the Burma Translation Society, it has sought to stimulate wide discussion of literary topics by organizing mass seminars. These seminars have aroused great interest and have been well attended by writers, journalists, teachers, and students. On how this works, an invited scholar or leading writer is invited to present a major survey of an aspect from the topic of the discussion. Then members can then question, comment, or make their own short contribution by handing in their names in advance. Often the number of participants wishing to speak is so large that names have to be drawn by lot. This method of running the seminar gives young and unknown writers and academics a chance to have their opinions known. After each seminar, Sir Pai Baikman publishes a book comprising the major papers and some of the points from the discussions, and these become valuable source of material on the history of modern Burmese literature. Examples of seminars held include children's literature in 1965, science literature in 1967, literary work in 1968, young people's literature in 1973, and poetry in 1981.
Government encouragement for the Burmese language. During colonial period, English ang naging official language sa Burma. Pero noong makalaya sila noong 1948, layunin ng bagong konstitusyon na maging official language na ang Burmese. Pero papayagan pa rin ang English dahil hindi naman agad na mapapalitan ang nakasanayan nila noon na language. Upang hindi na maguluhan at mahati ang opinyon dahil walang naging deadline ang pagsasalin ng mga libro, ang revolutionary government ay naglinaw na lahat ng mga subject ay dapat ituro sa kanilang sariling wika as soon as possible. Kaya inatasan nila ang Department of Translation and Publication na mag-edit o mag-ayos sa mga aklat upang matiyak ang consistency ng mga terminology at ang style nito. By January 1977, 170 titles had been published, kabilang ang medical textbooks. Ang medicine field lamang ang gumagamit pa rin ng English dahil ang doktor dito ay hindi pa rin kumbisito sa kalidad ng pagtuturo ng Burmese. Para ma-maintain naman ang standard and scope of university teaching, ngayong Burmese na ang medium ng pagtuturo, nag-publish sila ng quarterly journal, University Resources Journal, na naglalaman ng mga articles tungkol sa mga bagong research sa Burma, mga survey, source material, and first statement in Burmese na accessible lamang dati sa English. Si Dr. Nini naman, ipinaliwanag niya ang reasons kung bakit mahalaga ang mabilis na desisyon ng government sa pag-adapt na Burmese na ang medium ng pagtuturo. Sa isang interview niya with Forward Magazine, sabi niya, another reason for using Burmese in school textbooks and as language of instruction was that it will enhance foster spirit of self-reliance in students. Because we all live as slaves under the British of over 100 years and there is still left quite a bit of slave mentality. We tend to think highly of foreign language, foreign literature, and foreign culture while we look down upon our own products and our own culture. This has led to the development of inferiority complex and that is a major damage to our nationals. Kaya, ang government, ito ang pinaka-achievement nila na maging official na ang language ng Burmese.
The Burmese language. New textbooks and new technical terms were not the only things needed in the Burmese language was to assume the role of the sole official language of the Union. There was as yet no standard monolingual dictionary which served as guide to correct orthography. Sinasabi po rito, ang mga bagong aklat-aralin at mga bagong technical na termino ay hindi lamang ang mga bagay na kailangan kung ang wikang Burmese ay gaganapin ang papel na nag-iisang opisyal na wika ng Union. Sinasabi rin po rito na wala pang karaniwang monolingual na diksyonaryo na magsisilbing gabay sa pagwawasto ng ortografiya. Noong August 1963, itinatag ng revolusyonaryong pamahalaan ang isang komisyon sa panitikan at pagsasamin. The Working People's Daily carried frequent supplements consisting of long lists of words already gathered to encourage readers to send additional materials. Ang sabi naman po dito na ang kahulugan ng Work People's Daily ay ang pagdadala ng madalas na mga suplemento na binubuo ng mahabang listahan ng mga salita na nakalap na upang hikayatin ng mga mambabasa na magpadala ng mga karagdagang materyales.
So the Printers and the Publisher Registration Act at 1962 laid down that all the printers and publisher must register with the Central Registration Board and obtain an annual license to operate. And additionally, steps were taken to rectify the situation in 1977 by decision to grant the Self-Publishing Act, or this is the license to people who qualified for membership of the Literary Workers Association. Up to the time of writing in 1978, the condition for membership reported are that a person must have 3 novels or 25 short story, 10 articles or a collection of 25 short story or translated 2 serious works. So they need that to obtain or to get a membership card